Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to discuss the anatomy of the stomach. In anatomy, we will see location, size, shape, parts, blood supply, nerve supply, and lymphatic supply. Now we will see the location. So it is located as shown in the figure. It is located in the epigastrium on the left side, then in the umbilical region, and then in the hypochondrium. So it is basically located in the three regions of the abdomen. This is how we divide the abdomen into different regions. So then in here fundus and cardiac part is present in the epigastrium, then umbilical part में उसकी body आ जाएगी और hypochondrium में pylorus. If we talk about now its shape, so it is basically J-shaped, but its shape varies with muscular tone. It is more vertical in thin people and tall people and horizontal in obese people. If we talk about its size, it is about 25 centimeter long, but its capacity varies with the age and distensibility. Age wise, if we see, at birth its capacity is just 30 ml, 1 ounce, and then 1 liter ho jayegi, and then when the person reaches his adolescence or adult level पे जब जाएगा तो its capacity may increase up to 2 liters. So in features we will see the openings of the stomach, curvatures and surfaces and parts of the stomach. Now we have the openings of the stomach. Stomach has basically two openings, cardiac orifice and the pyloric orifice. Cardiac orifice lies at the level of the seventh costal cartilage on the left side, and pyloric orifice it lies at the level of the L1 vertebra. Cardiac orifice connects with the esophagus and the pyloric orifice connects with the duodenum. Then we have the curvatures of the stomach. Stomach has basically two curvatures, lesser curvature and the greater curvature. Lesser curvature forms the right margin or right border of the stomach, while the greater curvature forms the left margin or left border of the stomach. Lesser curvature gives attachment to the lesser omentum as we have discussed earlier, and the greater curvature gives attachment to the greater omentum. Lesser curvature presents the angular notch while the greater curvature presents the cardiac notch. Then stomach has two surfaces, anterior surface and the posterior surface. Talking about the parts of the stomach, it has basically two parts, cardiac part and the pyloric part. These parts are divided by a line which extends from the cardiac notch to the angular notch, and it divides the stomach into cardiac part and the pyloric part. This is how we will divide the stomach into its parts. So we are drawing the stomach, then we have this cardiac notch here and angular notch below here on the lesser curvature. So now we will draw a line from left side to the right side to the left side. This line will divide the stomach into its cardiac and the pyloric parts. So here is our cardiac and the pyloric part of the stomach. Then we will see different parts of the further subdivisions of the cardiac part and the pyloric part. We have seen the cardiac notch and the angular notch. At the cardiac notch we have cardiac sphincter, then below it we have the fundus of the stomach, then below the fundus we have the body of the stomach. Then body is separated from the pyloric part by the pyloric antrum, which is actually a doorway to the pyloric canal. Pyloric canal is actually a longitudinal structure about 5 to 7 centimeter long. Then pyloric canal ends in the pyloric sphincter. Then we have relations of the stomach. For every visceral organ, we will discuss both peritoneal and visceral relations. So here we have. In the peritoneal relations, we will be talking about the peritoneal coverings and peritoneal ligaments related to the stomach. These are lesser and greater omenta and the peritoneal ligaments which connect the stomach to different visceral organs like hepatogastric, gastrosplenic and gastrophrenic ligaments. Here is a pictorial representation. So at the lesser curvature we have the lesser momentum, at the greater curvature we have the greater momentum. These are greater relations. Then we have ligaments from the fundus. At the level of the fundus, the peritoneal ligament arises which connects the stomach to the spleen. It is gastrosplenic ligament. Then from the posterior surface there is gastrophrenic ligament which connects it to the diaphragm. Then from the right margin we arises the ligament hepato gastric ligament and the gastroduodenal ligaments which connected to the liver and the duodenum respectively. In the visceral relations we have all the visceral organs related anteriorly and posteriorly to the stomach. सो इफ़ वी टॉक अबाउट द एंटीरियर रिलेशंस तो उसमें हमारे पास सबसे पहले तो एंटीरियर एब्डोमिनल वॉल आ जाएगी. देन एंटीरियर एब्डोमिनल वॉल के बाद वी हैव द कोस्टल मार्जिन ऑन द लेफ़्ट साइड एंड देन लिवर का जो लेफ़्ट लोब है इट कवर्स द स्टमक एंटीरियरली एंड पार्ट ऑफ द डायफ्राम कवर्स द anterior surface of the fundus of the stomach. सो दिस इज़ हाउ इफ़ वी सी फ्रॉम द फ्रंट. अगर हम एंटीरियर एब्डोमिनल वॉल को हटा दें देन उसके एंटीरियरली कोस्टल मार्जिन आ रहा है, लिवर का लेफ़्ट लोब आ रहा है और डायफ्राम ऊपर से फंडस को कवर कर रहा है एंटीरियरली. सो दीज आर द एंटीरियर रिलेशन. पोस्टीरियर रिलेशंस आर ऑल्सो कॉल्ड स्टमक बेड बिकॉज स्टमक लाइज ऑन दीज स्ट्रक्चर्स. सो स्टमक पेट देख लेंगे हम. स्टमक पेट इज़ बेसिकली फॉर्म ऑफ डायफ्राम. डायफ्राम एंटीरियरली भी कवर कर रहा है, पोस्टीरियरली भी कर रहा है. देन पोस्टीरियर एब्डोमिनल वॉल के साथ जो भी स्ट्रक्चर्स हैं लाइक लेफ़्ट किडनी, उसके ऊपर सुप्रारीनल भी आ जाएगा. पोस्टीरियर पे ही पेनक्रियाज भी है, ट्रांसवर्स मीज़ोकोलोन भी है or spleen and its splenic artery, they are also located posterior. All these structures are separated from the stomach by the lesser sac of the peritoneal covering of stomach. So here are the relations of the stomach. Posterior relations are very clearly mentioned here in this diagram. So this was all about the anatomy of the stomach. We will discuss arterial supply, venous supply, lymphatic drainage and nerve supply will be discussed in the part 2 of the video.